What's more of a twist? A typical M. Night Shyamalan film? Or the fact that nobody is here?
So based on the book by Paul Tremblay, Knock at the Cabin is the latest M. Night Shyamalan film to come out this February, and while taking a vacation at a remote cabin, a married couple and their daughter are being held hostage against 4 complete strangers and forces them to make the choice of sacrificing one of their own in order to prevent the apocalypse. I kid you not, when there's a new M. Night Shyamalan film, I still get some people to this day with this reaction. What? The Last Airbender? Lady in the Water? This guy's not a good director. He hasn't had a good film since The Sixth Sense. Why is he still working in Hollywood? For everybody that shits on his name, this needs to stop. Yes, I get those films are awful. Yes, I know that he went down the rabbit hole for a little bit. And yes, I will never defend those movies at all. But I will defend the current M. Night Shyamalan. The guy has obviously matured and he has learned from his mistakes, and he even has the films to prove it. The Visit, which is a nice return for him as this nice, simple found footage film, I still get some thrills out of it. Split. This is a great film. James McAvoy gives a phenomenal job, and I think that he should have been nominated for an Oscar, but he didn't. And then there's Glass and Old. I do not own the DVD to Old. The only thing I'm just going to say about these two is that they're not terrible, but I just have mixed reviews on it. Now, are any of these films perfect? No, of course not, but I'll take them any day compared to what he was doing in the early 2000s and 2010s. We all know how that went. But that's what I got to say about this film, because it was pretty damn good. This film does not hesitate. It doesn't give you any slow build-ups or any exposition. It immediately takes you right into the conflict, just like what you saw in the trailers, and I was instantly hooked. Throughout the rest of this film, you are going on this back and forth psychological warfare between these two parties. The first one, you have the family, who is the emotional weight of this story. Over time, you bond with this family and get a good amount of flashbacks that's provided in the movies, what their life was like before the conflict. And it just creates more tension for our heroes. And for a good amount, I was genuinely scared. I was nervous for these characters. You even saw my hands in the theater. They were shaking. And then you have these complete strangers. You have no idea who they are, but yet Shyamalan is able to make you have this sense that you should side with them at times. Although it's also complicated because there are times you don't want to side with them. Like, you just look at the small details. They break in the house, they tie you up, they have weapons. Those are all the factors of like, yeah, don't trust these guys. But yet when you see these characters, you're frightened of them, but you get a sense of understanding that they have no choice in it. And most of that has to go towards the brilliant performance of Dave Bautista, who actually gave the best performance of his career by far. Listen, Drax was entertaining and funny, but this performance out-tops it. And for a guy like Dave who transitioned from wrestling to Hollywood, a good director would know that in order to bring out the best performance, he would actually have to direct his actor into hiding his weaknesses and bringing out his strengths to bring out that great performance. And out of all the directors in the world, it did not take James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy, it did not take Denis Villeneuve's Dune, it took Shyamalan, this guy. And fun fact, I've actually met Bautista before. Long story short, I was 11 years old and it was the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 25, and Bautista made his shocking return after an injury. And after the cameras just went off the air, he got on the floor and started high-fiving all the fans, and I just happened to just be one of them. Point is, I'm just very proud to see how far Dave's career has come. And unlike The Rock, who only uses his star power just to get rich without putting any artistic effort, Bautista is willing to go from an entertainer to a serious actor and actually put in the good work. And I do believe he is going to get more opportunities because of this role. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's pretty much a no-brainer that M. Night Shyamalan movies are always known for their plot twists. And what did I think about this? Well, it's not my favorite plot twist out of his entire filmography, but it actually is pretty good. And for the negative parts, there's really not a lot to say either, although he really does have a distinctive way of shooting his films, and this one by far is kind of the most weirdest one to me. Like, for example, you do have a little bit where the camera is a bit out of focus, yet you know that the camera is centered on them, and you don't even know why it's blurred out. I know that's a creative decision coming from his end, but it just didn't work with me. In the first few minutes of the first act, that's where I thought that, okay, this is a little wobbly. The second act is actually some good cinematography, and then the third is like, it's just plain normal. So I always wonder like what he was thinking when that was going on. Also, some people, not everyone, but some people might leave this theater having their head scratched, wondering what just happened at the end. I kind of have a clear idea of what I just saw, but for some people, this might be that type of film where it is based off of interpretation. And do I recommend this film for y'all? Yes, I do. If you're actually into thrillers, if you actually support M. Night Shyamalan, this is actually one of his better films. If you guys didn't actually like Old or Glass, you should actually give this one a shot. So for the final score, I'm gonna give Knock at the Cabin an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Look very forward to much more movie reviews to come along very soon. If you haven't already, subscribe here to the channel, and I'll see you next time.